We have studied about different elements, and we know that everything in this universe is made up of matter. Matter is ultimately made up of elements, compounds, or mixture of these two. But then the basic ingredient of matter are elements, and officially there may be around 110 elements known. Among them, carbon is one of the elements. It's one of the elements, and now then you know, apart from elements, there are compounds present in the universe apart from elements, or mixture of elements and compounds are present. Carbon is a unique element among all the 110 elements officially existing in the universe. There are immense number of compounds of carbon. We can say very safely that what the rest of the elements, the number of compounds the rest of the elements make, carbon makes carbon makes multiple number of those numbers, multiple number of compounds found by other elements. Carbon makes a lot of compounds. I am comparing. One side, if you keep compounds made by other elements, and one side if you keep compounds made by carbon, the compounds made by carbon will be much more large in numbers. You can thousands and thousands of organic compounds or carbon compounds exist. Now then, study wise, what do we understand by compounds of carbon, or in other words, organic compounds? Organic compounds. What are organic compounds? If somebody asks you what you are going to write, what are organic compounds? We can say, except the carbonates, oxides or cyanides of carbon, rest all the other compounds of carbon are organic compounds. So I am writing the definition here: except compounds, except carbonates, oxides and cyanides of carbon, all the other compounds of carbon are included as organic compounds. Or are considered as organic compounds. And the branch of chemistry which deals with organic compound is called organic chemistry. The branch of chemistry which deals with all the compounds of carbon except the cyanides, the carbonate and oxides are called organic compound. Are you following? Okay. So the question is, why the name organic chemistry? Why not carbonic chemistry? So remember this, in the early days the compounds of carbon obtained were coming from organic sources, something which was living. It was coming from organic sources. Like say for example, formic acid was coming from the ant sting, glucose was coming from maize syrup, ethyl alcohol was coming from molasses. So people started related compounds of carbon to organism, and then the word organic chemistry developed, and people wanted to make organic compounds because obviously they were of commercial use and they wanted to make organic compound artificially. But what happened is that The trial failed. There was a very famous scientist called Berzelius. Berzelius was a very famous scientist. Don't mind about the spelling. The name was Berzelius. Berzelius was a very famous scientist, and he tried to make organic compounds in the lab, but he could not do so. So what happened? He could not do so. So what happened? He gave a vital force theory. Berzelius gave a vital force theory. Berzelius gave. And he said that all the organic compounds are synthesized. All the organic compounds are synthesized by a vital force, and these compounds cannot be synthesized in the lab or artificially. But as you know, the disciples, they always try to confront the teacher or the master, and you all also want to sometimes prove us wrong. It's good. One of the disciples of Berzelius was Wohler, or Woli we call it, and he discarded the vital force theory by making urea, which is an organic compound, in the lab. Urea is an organic compound. Its formula is NH2CONH2. NH2CONH2. It's urea, and he synthesized this in the lab. I can give you a process in which he did. He took ammonium chloride. He took ammonium chloride and potassium cyanate. Then he got ammonium cyanate and potassium chloride. This one, when was extracted or was taken out and was subjected to a chemical change through heating, it gave urea. Thus, urea was the first organic compound. Urea was the first organic compound to be synthesized in the lab. Urea was the first organic compound to be synthesized in the lab, and the vital force theory was discarded. Got the point? So this is for your first lesson, basic lesson of organic compound.